Hey everyone! Did you know that older women in some Asian countries are actually more sexually active than their younger counterparts? Surprising, right? Stick with me because the final part will really blow your mind. Now this isn't just some random fact, it's actually tied to a bunch of cultural and societal factors that make this trend possible. In many Asian cultures, age equals wisdom and maturity. These traits are often seen as super attractive. Add in a healthy dose of financial independence and growing self-confidence, and you've got some seriously empowered older women who are feeling free to express their desires. Plus, with societal norms shifting, conversations about sexuality are way more open now than they used to be. This means that women, regardless of age, can talk about their sexual needs without fear of being judged. How cool is that? But before we dive into the top 12 Asian countries where older women are challenging these old taboos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and drop a quick comment below saying, "I subscribed." I'll personally welcome you to our awesome community. Ready? Let's go! Japan, the land of the rising sun. First on our list is Japan, known for its cutting-edge tech and rich cultural history. But here's a little-known fact: Japan is also seeing a sexual revolution among its older women. According to studies from the Japan Family Planning Association, these women are now breaking free from traditional roles as dutiful wives and grandmothers. They're embracing their own desires and rights to intimacy like never before. What's driving this change? Well, Japan's aging population plays a role, but so do increasing educational resources on sexual health and the rise of women's rights movements. Japan is proving that age doesn't limit desire, it enhances it. South Korea, the land of morning calm. Next up we have South Korea. You may know it for its vibrant K-pop scene, but did you know older women here are also defying sexual norms? Recent studies by the Korean Institute of Criminology show a rise in sexual activity among women over 50. Why? Because as healthcare improves and life expectancy increases, women are feeling better and living longer, healthier lives. What's more, South Korea's pop culture, yes, those addictive K-dramas, often portray mature women as independent and sexually active. And let's not forget about the digital age. Online platforms make it easier than ever for older women to connect with potential partners. China, the Middle Kingdom. Moving on to China, this country may have a long, tradition-rich history, but it's rapidly modernizing in many ways, including attitudes towards sex. According to the Journal of Sex Research, there's an increasing trend of sexual liberation among mature Chinese women. With better healthcare, economic development, and the internet, older women now have safe spaces to explore their desires. China's progress toward gender equality is also giving these women the power to express their sexuality freely, something that would have been unthinkable just a few decades ago. Talk about breaking barriers. India, a land of diversity. In India, the conversation around older women's sexuality is still pretty new, but it's gaining momentum. India is a country where the roles of women have been traditionally tied to marriage and motherhood, but studies are showing that a good portion of mature women are sexually active. This shift is fueled by rising life expectancy, better healthcare, and the growing women's empowerment movement. However, there's still a long way to go, especially when it comes to breaking down the stigma surrounding older women's sexuality. But the progress is happening, and it's inspiring. Thailand, the land of smiles. Lastly, we head to Thailand, a country known for its warm hospitality and vibrant culture. Older women in Thailand are openly talking about their sexual desires more than ever before, thanks to the influence of Western culture and Thailand's booming tourism industry. But it's not all easy. Balancing newfound independence with traditional values can be tricky. Still, the progress is undeniable. Thai women are leading the charge in embracing sexual freedom, proving that age is just a number. Before we go on, if you're enjoying this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below saying, "I subscribed." I can't wait to officially welcome you to our growing community. Now let's keep going with a few more countries making strides in this important conversation. Vietnam tradition meets change. Vietnam has long been a country where the discussion of sexuality, especially for older women, was a no-go. But times are changing. As the country urbanizes and develops, older women are starting to speak up about their desires. The internet and social media have helped open the door to more conversations, while improvements in healthcare mean that these women are living longer, healthier lives. Philippines, the pearl of the Orient Seas. The Philippines is another place where traditional values have held sway for a long time. But with the rise of social media, older women are finding communities online where they can connect and share their experiences. And just like their counterparts in other countries, they're taking better care of their health and prioritizing their own needs, including sexual ones. Indonesia, a cultural mosaic. Indonesia, the world's largest Muslim-majority country, is also beginning to see changes. Although it's still heavily influenced by religious norms, women here are starting to break free of traditional expectations. Women's empowerment movements and better sexual health education are giving older women the tools they need to redefine their roles in society. Singapore, the Lion City. Finally, we arrive in Singapore, where progressive views on sexuality are becoming the norm. Here, mature women are increasingly open to exploring their sexual desires, thanks in part to a strong healthcare system and widespread education on sexual health. Singapore's global status and exposure to Western ideas also play a role in normalizing these conversations. The country's approach to gender equality ensures that women of all ages can express themselves freely. Malaysia, truly Asia. Malaysia, a diverse and multicultural country, is also witnessing a shift in how older women approach sexuality. While conservative values still play a large role, especially in more traditional communities, there's a growing acceptance of mature women's sexual desires in urban areas. Increased access to healthcare and education is empowering women to take control of their health and well-being, including their sexual health. Additionally, exposure to global media has influenced attitudes, especially among the younger generations, who are more open to discussing these topics. While Malaysia may still have a long way to go in fully normalizing these conversations, the progress is evident in the lives of women who are breaking free from societal expectations. Sri Lanka, the pearl of the Indian Ocean. Sri Lanka, a country known for its natural beauty and strong cultural heritage, is slowly opening up discussions about sexuality and age. Traditionally, older women have been expected to fulfill roles as caretakers and homemakers, leaving little room for personal exploration. However, the rise of women's empowerment movements and access to sexual health resources is encouraging mature women to focus more on their own desires. Sri Lankan women, especially in urban centers, are beginning to redefine their roles, breaking away from long-held expectations and embracing their independence. Though the conversation is still new, it's a significant step towards more openness about sexuality. Bangladesh, a nation of resilience. In Bangladesh, where societal norms are heavily influenced by tradition and religion, the topic of sexuality, particularly for older women, remains largely taboo. However, there are signs of change. More women are gaining access to healthcare and education, leading to better awareness of sexual health and well-being. Urbanization and economic growth are also giving women greater independence and confidence to assert their needs and desires. Though progress is slow, the conversation is starting, and more women are feeling empowered to challenge the norms that once confined them. Nepal, a land of mountains and myths. Nepal, a country deeply rooted in tradition, is seeing gradual changes in attitudes toward older women's sexuality. Historically, discussions around sexuality have been limited, especially in rural areas. However, in more urbanized regions, mature women are beginning to embrace their independence, including their right to express their sexual desires. As access to healthcare and sexual education improves, more women are realizing that age doesn't have to limit their sexual expression. Local women's rights groups are also playing a role in shifting societal expectations, paving the way for a more open discussion about sexuality at all ages. Pakistan, the land of the pure. In Pakistan, a country where cultural and religious norms play a significant role in shaping societal attitudes, the conversation around older women's sexuality is still very much under wraps. However, there are small but growing movements advocating for women's sexual health and rights. These movements are slowly opening doors for more mature women to discuss their desires without fear of judgment. While change is gradual, the rise of digital platforms and women's rights campaigns is beginning to shift perceptions, particularly in urban areas. More women are now finding ways to explore their own sexuality, even in the face of traditional expectations. Cambodia, Kingdom of Wonder. Cambodia, a country with a rich history and deep traditions, is also starting to see changes in how older women perceive their sexuality. For many years, discussions about sex, especially for mature women, were considered inappropriate. But with increased access to global media and better healthcare, more women are beginning to explore their own desires later in life. While Cambodia still has traditional values that influence societal expectations, the rise of women's empowerment movements and better access to sexual education are helping to create a more open environment for discussions around sexuality. Laos, the land of a million elephants. Finally, we head to Laos, a country where the influence of Buddhism and traditional values is strong. Historically, discussions around sex, especially for older women, have been rare. However, as Laos becomes more connected with the global community, and more women gain access to education, there is a growing awareness of the importance of sexual health and well-being. Mature women in Laos are starting to feel more empowered to discuss their desires and needs, though the change is still gradual. The rise of women's rights movements and better healthcare options are helping to pave the way for a more open conversation about sexuality. In conclusion, so there you have it. From Japan to Indonesia, the conversation around age and sexuality is changing rapidly across Asia. Older women are no longer staying silent. They're embracing their independence, their desires, and their right to live fully. This shift proves that passion, desire, and pleasure aren't just for the young, they're for life. If this video opened your eyes to something new, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more exciting topics like this one. Thanks for watching.